Obviously, very happy to get the win versus Troy. Very awesome performance by our defense. I can't say enough about them and how they shut down a very powerful Troy offense. Again, if we don't have the pick six, I think it's even more dominating on the scoreboard. Obviously, we have a lot of yardage, had a lot of time of possession on offense. Would have liked to have more points on the scoreboard, but I thought our offense did exactly what we needed to do to keep Troy's offense off the field. I do wish we would have been a little bit better in the special teams game. I did not like our average starting position for an offense. And there was a number of reasons for that. Troy did a really good job of punting the ball and getting us inside the 20. I believe our average starting position on offense was either 17 or 19-yard line. I wish we could have got a little bit better field position in the game there. But, again, really great job by our team, great job by our staff, good job with the game plan, executing and, getting that victory and really getting our monkey off the back for Troy. And now we got to flip gears and get ready for Texas State coming in here. And, they're a team that's I think they're better than what their record says. Just watching them, I hadn't watched a whole lot of film yet, but was able to watch a couple games last night and watch the App State game this morning. They play everybody very tough, very well, just have not finished at the end and have not been able to get those victories that they're trying to get. But I do think they're a better football team than what their record shows. Again, I want to say thank you to Eagle Nation for coming out. It was a great crowd, great atmosphere. We want to do it again this week. We want as many people to come out as we can and try to pack the stadium with 25% and really do a great job for our seniors with this being senior day and everything. And so just encourage everybody to come out and let's have a good time.
Coach, I know you would.
You go, Josh. You're good.
I know you would have liked to have gotten more points. You mentioned that, but the fact that your offense was able to be on the field as much as they were, giving your defense a break. I know there's been some games where they've been out there quite a bit. You finally get a chance to see what they're like when they're healthy and rested out there. How much do you feel like that played a factor in the game? And tell us a little bit about how you feel like your defense is right now.
I thought that was a huge factor. I mean, when the defense only has to be out there for 17 minutes, I think that's really, that's really good for us. I think the big thing with our defense is they've really continued to grow from week one to all the way to now. I think one thing that sometimes gets overlooked is, being able to add Kendrick Duncan back. He's really the quarterback of our defense. He really gets the defense on the same page, gets the secondary on the same page, huge leader for us. He's a guy that we missed early on in the year, and, getting him there has really become the glue for our defense. And, I thought we had a really awesome game plan going into the game with our defense. And, we were worried about the tempo because that was something that, had hurt us in the past. And, one of the statements our guys made yesterday when we were having our team meeting talking about the game was, Coach, it was harder in practice than it was in the game. And, that just told me that our guys really took it serious. We did a really good job of simulating the tempo last week and making it harder than what the game is. And if we can do that every week during practice, if we can make practice harder than the game, great results tend to happen. So, that's something that we want to continue to do. But I do think our defense is getting better each and every week, and they're getting a lot of confidence. And, we're going to continue. We got to continue to make sure we don't get complacent and just make sure we continue to know that it ain't good enough. We got to keep on going.
How nice is it to have 3 straight home games, middle of the season where guys are injured or tired and, 3 straight home games against 3 conference opponents? How nice is it to know you're going to be playing, a game on, have a normal game week, at home?
It's really nice. A lot of people don't understand how much it takes out of you to go on the road. There's a lot of things that go into it. The guys go to class on a Friday and then they get out of class and, so there's no extra rest there, and you get on a bus, you get on a plane, and then you're in a hotel. And I mean, everything's just different. And then, depending on when kickoff time is, it's just you're away from home. So the opportunity to be at home, the opportunity to get the extra treatment, the extra sleep, the rest, or whatever comes with it is huge for us. But football is played at home and it is away, so we got to be good at all of that. And but honestly, I think it's come at a good time for us because there is something for trying to get in a rhythm, in a routine. And I told them last night we had our first normal Sunday practice in a regular game routine that we have in a long time. So these next few weeks, man, are going to be regular game weeks, and we're going to get into some type of routine that we really haven't been able to do. And so I think that can be big for us.
Coach, talk about it. I know we always touch on that next man up. Could be without JD for an extended period of time. Wesley, hopefully we get back in. What can you talk about some of the injuries that we're dealing with right now?
JD is we were trying to get his MRI scheduled for today. Looks like it's going to end up being in the morning. We'll be able to make more determination after the MRI and we'll get those results. Again, it's a knee injury, and right now we're going to have positive thoughts. We're going to be praying for him, and we'll see if we'll get different results. But right now we don't expect to have him. I don't know if he'll be available at any point this season, but we'll know more about after the MRI tomorrow. As far as Wesley Kennedy goes, he did have that mouth injury during the game, but all indications are he'll be fine and ready to go this week. And that's big for us also. I know early on in the day in the Sun Belt teleconference, I touched on Bo Johnson. He had a lower leg injury with his ankle. Right now, saying 4 to 6 weeks, could be sooner, could be later. We're not real sure. We'll just see how that rehab goes. But it may be the bowl game before, he's able to be back. And so those are really the main ones. Everything else we got is bumps and bruises, and just got to get, try to continue to try to stay healthy as best we can, as we get deep into the season. The next man up piece, again, if we lose JD for a significant amount of time, I feel confident in the running backs that we have. I think obviously Logan Wright, Matt LaRoche, I think those guys showed, and Gerald Green showed that they could step up and make plays for us. And again, we got to continue to bring guys along at tight end. Bo Johnson's a big loss for us, but I think those guys can get it done also. And so we'll continue to preach next man up. And we knew going into this season, whether it was regular football injuries or if it was COVID, we were going to have to be ready for that.
Coach, is there any thought of bringing up any of the guys that are true freshmen that we know are pretty talented? I guess I'm talking about like Jalen or, at running back. I guess you're pretty set there, but was there any thought of some of these guys that you may not have played this year, getting them because of the fact that they get an extra year?
Yeah, for sure. Jalen White will be a guy that starts to get some more reps for us. Losing JD, that's a bigger back, and Jalen kind of brings that same type of, profile for us. And so Jalen is a guy that we'll start getting a little bit more reps. I won't say that he will be ready to play, but we're going to start trying to bring him along and get him ready if he's needed. And then other guys, I mean, we've got guys that, we're trying to get in on special teams as much as we can. One guy that kind of jumps out to me a little bit is Sean Pelkison. He's a guy that, I want to try to get going on special teams and then maybe start getting a little tight end reps just because of the Bo Johnson situation. He may be a guy that we try to get into the mix. A lot of it comes down to, are guys ready? Are they mature enough to handle it? We do have a lot of young guys that we are playing that we felt like were in a good place mentally to help us and not make rookie mistakes that would hurt us in a football game. And we have to weigh that in there too. We got plenty of talent, but we just got to make sure that they're ready to play mentally in a football game.
I want to go back to Wesley's injury. We say it's a mouth injury? Can we say what it is? Are we talking about bruises or lost a tooth, or I don't want to guess. What are we talking about with the mouth injury?
It was a tooth. His tooth got jammed a little bit, and it was just a little bit of an issue with his gum. And it was just one of those things where we couldn't really chance it during the game, and because we wasn't sure if it was going to be something that was going to need extra work or anything like that. He went to the dentist today to look at it. Everything's fine. Not going to be an issue.
Okay, that's reassuring. What as far as the way you'd like to use the other running backs, is there an ideal mix or sharing, or do you go with a hot hand, or what you've got and you kind of situational? How do you play it this week?
Well, I think the experience piece matters. Logan Wright and Matt LaRoche have played a lot of football for us. Obviously, Wesley being back and Wesley being full go, Wesley's going to be the guy that we need to get the ball to. But I do think it's important that we let Gerald Green spin a little bit because he's got a little bit of juice that, can make a difference in a game. And he's really doing a good job. He's a guy that I talked about him a little bit last year. He was a guy that continued to go, man, if he gets an opportunity, people are going to be wowed by him. There were some things early on in the season that maybe held him back a little bit to get in a rotation, but also to, Wesley and JD being our main focal points, we haven't been able to, kind of get him going. Now he's got an opportunity. So I think we got to let Gerald spin a little bit, man, because I think he can bring something to the game that is going to make a difference.
Coach, you haven't really had the opportunity, except maybe in the UMass game, to get some younger guys playing time. You haven't been far enough ahead. Do you feel like this week might give you an opportunity? I know it's one game at a time, and every team can beat any team. But if you were able to get a good lead and get some of these young guys some reps, you might be able to get a better gauge of what they can do for you.
Yeah, I think sometimes we make too many general statements. I mean, it'd be pretty interesting to see how many young guys we are playing and how many snaps they're getting. I wish I had it in front of me. I think we're getting a lot of young guys some reps and getting them some playing time. But again, if we're able to get up, I don't know, man. I haven't watched Texas State enough to shoot, man. And every single game we've played, except for one, it's come down to the end of the ball game. So I'm not ever going to look at it that way. We're going to play freshmen if they're ready to play. We're going to get them in as needed. I know we're getting them a lot of valuable reps on special teams, and we're playing a lot of young guys. If the opportunity presents itself, we'll get them in there.
Coach, last game, Shai threw a first half interception, and then went out and continued to play. And how was his response both this season and the past 3 years at quarterback? Have you seen that progression of Shai Werts both on the field at quarterback and also off the field as a captain and as a leader on the team?
Shai's grown every year. I think that he is probably the even better leader this year, probably even better field general, does a really good job of operating things. To be honest with you, other than the pick six, he played a really good game Saturday. I mean, he got us in and out of the plays that we needed to be in. They were jumping in and out of different fronts. He executed the things that we needed to do to make sure that we were in a good play, very efficient in the pass game, other than that one pass. And if you really go back and look at that play too, Emil Smith kind of stumbles out of his break. It was a one-on-one play. The safety had really bit on the run fake and spun back out of it. And when he stumbled, it caused us to be a little bit late on the pass. He got a little pressure in his face. And then when he threw it up, that safety was able to recover and make the play. But other than that, I mean, I thought he was on point, and I thought he did a really good job. And I'm going to tell you what didn't show up in the stat lines that was huge for us. When Wesley and JD went down, he was the calming voice for our offense. He was the guy that kept everybody in a good place and said, hey, man, it's going to be fine. We're just going to go to work. And that's what he did. And I think that's what he brings to us that maybe early on in his career he didn't, just because of the experience piece.
Is there one moment, over the past 4 years, from the, first couple seasons when you were in charge to now that sticks out of, who Shiwartz is as both a person and as a player?
There's plenty of moments, but again, I think I'll go back to this last game. People did not see what he did for our offense because his stat line. I mean, he was 92% throwing the ball, and in the rushing piece. But I mean, it wasn't like it was a huge game statistically for him, but it was the whole keeping the offense together. Because a lot of people don't understand how good of a defense Troy is. And how really, I wouldn't trade our linebackers on our football team because I love our linebackers. But if I had to, if I was said, hey, you got to go take somebody else's linebackers, Troy's linebackers would be the ones I pick. And, for him to really, get our guys going, our offensive line, our running backs that were in a next man up mentality, just that moment alone and how poised he was in that game and never got panicked and really led our team to that victory. That to me is a moment that I'll always remember of him.
Senior day, I know they'll probably still have a couple, or they will have a couple games left to play, but what has the senior class meant to you? Is there anything that kind of stands out? I know that you brought a lot of these guys along, and then they've been with you the last couple of seasons.
Yeah, a lot of these guys I recruited, and they were also very instrumental in me, backing me to be the head football coach. And, so they mean the world to me. And lots of times people look at a head football coach and go, wow, man, look at all the money he makes, or wow, he's the head football coach. But that ain't what it's about to me. What it's about to me is these guys having the opportunity to play for Georgia Southern and build memories that will last a lifetime, build a brotherhood that will last a lifetime. And that's what I would say about this senior class. They're one of the closest groups I've ever been around, and they play for one another. Everybody wants to complain that we don't score enough points. Everybody wants to complain about this, that, and the other. And that's all fine. I mean, that's part of college football, and that's part of being a college football fan. But what I love about these guys is they don't blink. I mean, anytime there's adversity, anytime that, we're in a pandemic, we got racial issues, going on in the world. And then you get in here and, you lose a close one to Louisiana, and then you don't play well at Coastal. And I mean, they just stay so close together, and it's offense, defense, special teams. And it's never, well, the offense did this or the defense did that. It's all about, we did this. This is what we're going to do. This is what we're going to work together. And that's what I really like about this senior class. They've really stuck together throughout this whole thing, and they want to finish it off right. And we talked about it yesterday. We're hitting the second half of the season now. We're 5-2 in the first half, and now we got to go see what we're going to do in the second half. And we got to treat this like a ball game, the season within the season. We're coming out of halftime right now, and we got to go hit it running. And I think this senior class is going to do a really good job leading us going throughout this second half of the season.
Could I get to that one question, or that one thing that you said? You mentioned how important they were for you getting the job. When you got the job, what did TK tell you as far as this is what we really, did he say that that's kind of what put you over the top? How much did he comment on that?
He didn't really. He didn't really comment on that. I feel strongly that them wanting me to be the head football coach was a big piece to it. I really do. But that's my feeling. That I don't know that if that's 100% accurate. I think the whole piece of seeing how the culture started to change, and the guys really buying into what we were trying to do. I think had a really big piece to me getting the job. You'd have to ask TK, because we really never did discuss it like that.
Are you expecting any kind of special? Last week I know we had the new uniforms and stuff. Are you expecting any kind of special senior day festivities or anything special other than just normal, flowers and here's what they've done in college?
We wore new uniforms?
Apparently.
Holy smokes, man. I got to go talk to somebody. We don't do that at Georgia Southern. Wow. I might have to go back and watch this film. There's no way we wore a different uniform.
There's a little like extra mark right there, I think, and that's put people over the edge.
All right, so uniform, I would love to see the blue and white this week, the traditional uniform. We haven't worn them since Campbell. Yeah, it had a little bit to do with UMass not having their jerseys, and we had to put the white ones on, which was okay. And and then obviously we wanted to honor the military, and so we did that. And then it had already been planned, the alternate uniform to be for homecoming, and so now let's try to get in that blue and white and see if we can get those traditional uniforms going.
Coach, what do you expect out of Texas State?
Man, I tell you, and again, I know everybody's gonna say, well, that's just what you're supposed to say as a coach. I really don't believe they're a 1-8 football team. I think Coach Spavital is doing a really good job with them, man. They've got a really good offensive scheme. I don't think they're like as up-tempo as Troy, just trying to watch TV copies, get a good feel for it. Obviously, we didn't have the luxury of playing them last year. But I do think they try to move at a no-huddle pace, but I don't think it is as fast. But again, they're RPO, inside zone, outside zone. They do try to establish the run and be efficient in the pass game. They try to be a balanced offense. Defensively, they're interesting because they're kind of a odd front, kind of what we call an Okie front, but they like to play 5 DBs. So it's a little bit different, and I'm a little bit interested on how they're going to play us. Because we really don't have much to go off of to figure out how they're going to play our offense and the option piece. So that's going to be a little bit interesting, and we're going to have to do a little bit more digging and try to figure that piece out before we get to the game. So it'll be interesting, but I really don't think that their record exemplifies what they really are. Any other questions?
Thanks.
All right. Y'all have an awesome week. Thank y'all. GATA.